Македонски фалави на сите што дојавте во оваа бројка. Отвараме се зона со многу интересни гости вечер. Ќе ги најавам за кратко. Останете до крајот на овој денешен Meetup. Имаме уште некои интересни вести што ги споделиме на крај, што за нешто што доаѓа следно. Now I'll switch on English for our guests. We had pleasure already with Marin. He's always opening recaps for each year. He's he's part of our user group at this point. He's not our guest. Alongside with Marin, we have two amazing guests. We had the pleasure to meet them on AWS Re event 2025 in Bosnia and Herzegovina that happened last year. With us is Costa, which is AWS Data Hero. And with him also we have Thanasis, who is a cloud and DevOps enthusiast, also AWS expert. We will hear the latest news from AWS reInvent we had this year, the latest news about AI, data dev, and also AI, which everyone is keenly to hear more news. So without further ado, I will give you the scene to you guys. And Marin, don't stall too much. Speak faster. Thank you.
Pa ništa, ajde ovako prvo da vi se obratam na makedonski, pošto, eto, zboram makedonski. Tako da, dobro večer na site i jako mi je drago što je gledam ovako. Mislim, prošliот recap, imavme valce, imaše nekoja utakmica, čini mi se, i nemaše mnogo lugija, ali sve ima super, baš mi je drago. Inače, znači nije sme bile na AWS reInvent, pa ete i od ta pričina i gledam je da vi dočarame kako izgledaše reInvent, ne samo da spodelime sa vas nekoj, ajde kažem, tehnološki detalji, ali malo i da vidime kako to stvarno izgledalo. Because we have English speakers, so I'm going to switch to English right now. Okay, so okay, this is okay, good. So when we finish this, there is a PDF with all the slides, so you can take the slides and basically revisit all those slides that we have presented. There are also some slides that we are going to miss today, so definitely can check them out here. Before starting, it is good to basically show this legend. Every slide has some marker on it, so you're going to see what is generally available, what is a public preview, what is a gated preview, what is coming soon. Generally available is that you can immediately use it. Public preview it's still not something that you should use in production, but you can try it. You can try it and see. Yes, yeah, of course. Gated preview is something that you cannot use immediately, but you'll probably need to ask them to enable it for you. And coming soon is not there yet, and who knows when it's going to be available. Also, there are some color codings. So pre-reInvent means that this feature came out before reInvent, but just a month before reInvent. Then reInvent it appeared on reInvent, and the rest is a service name, and is it open source or not? So this is actually the description that I have just said. So what is a pre-reInvent? Okay, what you see on this picture is entrance to the expo. So let me just give you some idea how that looks like. When you're coming to reInvent, it's not just one hotel or one resort where the conference is happening. It's like many of resort in Las Vegas, which are huge, literally. It's like the size of a small town, literally. How huge is one of those convention centers? So they're so big that it's very hard for you to navigate through them. So let's say it happens when you book those sessions and you want to visit 2 sessions, that you need to travel for 45 minutes and then stuck in a traffic. Of course, there are buses. So buses are, all those venues are connected by buses or other ways of transportation. But sometimes when you go by bus, you can stuck in a traffic and then miss your session. So you need to calculate, even if it says it's going to take 45 minutes, you need to think in advance. So it's one huge number of conventional centers, but the central one is Venetian, Hotel Venetian. Probably you've heard about the Hotel Venetian. This is the one that resembles to Venice, but it's all fake Venice. In the expo that I just mentioned is in that hotel. So basically everything is there. So the most important people, the companies, the partners of AWS are placed there. Of course, they're the most important partners. And the whole happening of reInvent, the central happening of reInvent is in that Venetian. Expo is like a fair. So all the companies are presented with their stands, and it's kind of let's say one. It's important if your company is there. You're able to present what you have done. You are able to connect with the partners, and you really can expand your business when you're there. So not to promote too much, but it is good. I mean, my company had a stand last year, and it was really good thing. So we met lots of people that we have continued doing business with them. Okay, so let me give you some brief details about what was happening. So this event is one of the biggest IT conferences in the world. This year it had 60,000 attendees, and I think that the largest is 150 maybe IT, and it's again in the same conventional centers in Las Vegas, but this is one of the largest definitely. Also, it's streamed online, so you could it had 2 million viewers online, so that you could also attend in a way online. There was 3,500 sessions and 3,000 speakers.
Left. We have more sessions than speakers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is Warner Vogels, and I would give mic to our data hero. He had a dinner with him, so please tell us a bit more how that went.
Hello, everyone. So, first note, if I'm speaking too fast, raise a hand in the side. Also, if you have questions, please interrupt us. You are yeah. So this is Werner Vogels. He's the CTO of Amazon. And he's the reason that we have user groups. He's the reason that we have AWS heroes, community builders, cloud clubs, and so on and so forth. He's very supportive of the community. And in this reInvent was his last keynote. After 60 years? Yeah. Yes. After 16 years. I'm going to give 5 minutes about the talk he made. He actually talked about if AI is going to take our jobs. And yeah, well, he said maybe, but no, it's not going to take our jobs. But the real question is it going to make us obsolete? And the answer is, it's up to us to do that. It's up to us to adapt, to learn how to use the new tools that are currently in place. He made very nice metaphors and so pictures about Back to the Future. He actually drove the DeLorean? Yes, sorry. He actually drove the DeLorean, not in stage, but in a video. And it's pretty much not the same, but similar to when we're pulsing cards and then assembly came or from assembly we went to, it was prologue, but it's fine. From assembly we went to C. We're starting to hide the underlying code with higher level code. We are currently at the stage where we are writing code with using natural language. We're telling someone how to write code, something. Very nice keynote. I recommend to watch it. It's on YouTube. Yeah, and this is pretty much. It's like for all the things that he's done, after 16 years, he's not going to deliver another keynote. We were lucky enough to see it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's start. Okay.
The first thing we wanna do it is watch this.
Just hop harder. Some teams watch their ideas soar into production, while others never quite leave the ground. At AWS, we learned the fastest way to spark innovation is through competition. And we proved this with AWS Deep Racer, where over 560,000 builders have learned machine learning through racing autonomous cars. That same hands-on approach now powers AWS AI League, where your team can tackle real-world AI problems through friendly competition and expert-led workshops. Participants learn prompt engineering, model customization, and agentic AI, using the same tools SIS used for in Dutch. Companies are already seeing an impact, faster deliverables, stronger AI collaboration, and breakthrough solutions. You can even host your own internal challenges to spark creativity and celebrate innovation across your organization. Whether you're just beginning your AI journey or scaling enterprise solution, AWS AI Re os ideas and the real results. While you take that journey AWS AI, your next breakthrough is just strong competition for it.
So if you remember those deep racer cars, basically that was a quite interesting thing. So with reinforcement learning, you would be able to teach the car to follow the line, and based on that, you're competing with the rest of the crowd all over the world, and you could potentially win the prize. But it was interesting thing. They organized this like deep racers venues on the reInvent where you could literally it's like a really like a literally real race. So it was fun. This is something that should eventually replace that. AWS Deep Racer is, as far as I know, decommissioned. It's not gonna. It is decommissioned. I think they could do something else. To be honest, with that, it was amazing car, but eventually it was decommissioned, and they're gonna probably completely turn it off, and they are replacing it with this thing. So this is really beneficial, especially when you want to learn AI. I think it's gonna help you to, over a competition in some competitive way, learn a bit better about the AI technologies over there. So there are some updates on AWS Build Center. There are some new, let's say, planning tools, so you can a bit better plan how you're gonna learn. There are some spaces, some kind of collaboration between the builders, and specialized workshops as well. That comparing to the AWS workshops, it's not like that. It's so basically, if you want to do a workshop, you're gonna do it on your account. So it's not going to be on AWS account like AWS workshops are functioning. It's going to be on the on your account. So yeah, there are some updates. This is good if you're preparing for a certificate. That definitely this is a thing to do. AWS Builder Center. If you don't have account, I encourage you to have account. This is actually where you can learn AWS much faster through the organized courses and some kind of structured way where you gradually can progress. Now, we have partners. If there are people that are interested about how to do a partnership with AWS, let me know. We can cover it quickly. We're not prepared this, but yeah, I can tell you about that a bit. Is there a people that want to listen about partnerships? Or just tech, purely tech? Okay, so tech. Skipping. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are multiple levels. However, here, there are some interesting stuff. Let's say Partner Central is now available in console, which is good because I was struggling, to be honest, with having a different account, and it was pain, to be honest. And now it's available over console. Yes, and it didn't work actually. Especially if you have a certificate, now we want to move them from one company to another company. It's literally hell on earth. It took me 36 email exchanges with the support to move the certificates from one company to another. Hell on earth, literally. And the people didn't believe me that I took 36 email exchanges in order to move my certificates. It is what it is. To be honest, I have no clue what this is, but
there are many layers of publicities and about the set type be less specific tells you is me.
Oh right. Yes, yeah, true. So resilience, yeah. They announced couple more. So basically resilience competency is you had the multiple competencies. You can have a data analytics competency, you can have AI competency, you can have, I don't know what else, migration competency, training and stuff. Yeah, right. So this is one more. This is resilience competency. If you had the workloads that were deployed on AWS and proved that they're resilient, that you have an architecture which is resilient, you potentially can apply for this program and have another batch. AI competency is basically the same one that existed last year, Gen AI competency. They just added agentic AI to it, so it's pretty much the same thing. I don't believe that one who has Gen AI competency will need to do anything about having this one. Agent and AI search in AWS Marketplace. So yeah, there is an agent search in AWS Marketing. So you can literally use agent to better search through the AWS Marketplace and potentially using a prompts better find what is there.
Was there a reason or what amazing? Oh yeah, you will see you have a data here and there in another place.
Maybe. Yes. And on a couple of them, you have one agent. You have agent. Next year, you're gonna have an agent doing a recap. So, yeah. Okay. Multi-product solution in AWS Marketplace. This could be interesting. So, if you have a product which is compatible to the product from some other company, you can join them and basically sell together. So that I guess the billing would together be billed to the end customer with a this like a product package out of two products. Billing transfer for AWS channel partners. So the companies who were doing reseller are now kind of relieved because they have this billing transfer. Whoever is doing reselling of AWS account was literally in pain how to do the billing. So now with this approach, it's being sorted out. A2A server support in AWS Marketplace. Previously, they have added MCP, so you could search AWS Marketplace with MCP. Now there is A2A support. If you don't know what A2A, it's a Google thing, agent to agent. So you could basically use one more way to search AWS Marketplace. I am delegation of for partners and Amazon. So yeah, this is some kind of temporary delegation of I'm rights to the partners which are temporarily active. So yeah, one more way to add access to your account to the partners, probably some third party like maybe auditors or something like that. Yeah, and with that said, let's go to the storage migration and transfer services, where Costa will help us.
We missed a disclaimer, I think. And yeah, we're not selling. We are catching up with the updates. So yes, there are a lot of updates. We're gonna skip some. None of us is an expert to everything. So we'll present updates that are relevant to us, or we have used the service, or we know what the impact is. And yeah, besides that, hang tight. It's gonna be a long session. I hope we're gonna make it fun. So, S3 tables. You know about S3 tables? Vector, no, iceberg, managed iceberg within S3. They added intelligent tiering. Pretty much what they're doing, they're cutting the cost about 40%. Whenever intelligent tiering exists in S3 buckets, but not in S3 table buckets. So that's a nice addition. You cut the costs.
A smoking bag is working OPS already. It's amazing thing. We're like like using some kind of storage, heavy patching and somebody it on the way. And so these things is like the cheapest especially when we're doing warehouses, the spreadsheet, there is a fixed stock point people somewhere that or this is really that. So if you have a customer which is in need of some kind of cheap warehouse,
Especially with Athena. Especially combined with Athena, Amazon Athena, it's very, very cheap.
also is how they do did that with the they have very good iron work. They but they want to tell away information. Kind of see that.
I like formation. I hate that service. I really hate it. Yeah, it is governance. It is fine-grained governance on top of different data sources. One of that is S3 buckets and S3 tables. We're gonna see in a couple of slides that they also have enabled governance federation within S3 tables. But this is a very nice update, especially for the intelligent theory.
We wanted to do the best.
Yes.
Take them and lower the bar. Or all bit what the deep net be back out of the industry.
Yes. Usually, whenever you don't know what the access pattern will be on your data, intelligent tiering is the best option. Now, they also released about S3 tables automatic replication. Pretty much, in a database world, this means read replicas. You have one bucket when you can write in Iceberg, and then you can have additional buckets that are in sync and are read-only. So you cannot delete files from that. It's for pretty much speed. It comes handy with intelligent tiering because it lowers the costs. Yes, they announced, and it is in GA, they announced the Amazon S3 vectors. You can now store vectors within S3 managed, pretty much like S3 tables. I think there was a way that you could do that in S3 no matter what, like with S3 tables, but this is fully managed. So you can directly write your vectors. Yes. I mean, it's vectors, it's AI. Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
That be after.
yeah. Again, another disclaimer: 95% of the slides will have an association with AI, if not directly the AI updates. So yeah, this is a very very nice addition. That means that you can manage your vectors in a very cheap manner, like the iceberg tables. Yeah. Oh, another favorite service, storage lens. I don't know if anyone has used storage lens. I envy you. Um, it is it made some they made some adjustments. They added some metrics. It is somewhat usable now. You can actually track what is going on within your S3 buckets, and you don't need third-party services to pay in order to see what's going on with your S3 buckets. So this was very. We were waiting for that announcement to happen. We really wanted that announcement to happen because S3 buckets are cheap. Therefore, we're using it a lot. Therefore, we need somehow a way to monitor them. Limited data, yes. Yes.
PTO police Slovak Lux Nadia. Yeah. What? Oh. So can you decide that first to get search?
Yes. And usually the most used queries for S3 Lens is multi-part upload fails and forgotten versions when you have enabled version on the bucket. Usually, this constitutes to around 50% of your S3 chats, usually, on an average, if you're not careful enough. So yeah, now you can define some metrics, some additional metrics. I think you can build your own custom metrics. And it also, I think they removed from the S3 buckets the metric section and I'll leave it here. You can see more fine-grained utilization of your S3 buckets. And there we go. The first slide that I haven't used yet. I don't think I'm gonna use it, to be honest. This is AI power code modernization, and it's pretty much you can migrate legacy systems to newer technologies or upgrade. Let's say you have a large project that is written in Java 8. It's old enough. I remember going to school here using Java 8. Yeah, to a newer version, or convert your, I don't know, Node.js application to Python, or go even deeper and plan a migration. Yeah, or your Tunnel Gold Plus to AWS. Yeah, yeah. So the good thing about this, again, use it with care and supervision. It transforms for Python, Node.js, and Java upgrades. They're going to improve its coverage when it comes to programming language services. I think it also handles EC2 updates, patches, OS upgrades, and so on and so forth. Again, it's AI. It's not deterministic. Use it with care. But yeah, I haven't used it yet, so I'm pretty much reading the slide. They also announced the .NET capabilities. Everyone who's a .NET person. And I think they're focusing largely on upgrading or refactoring code in the field of .NET. It is a collection. It is a collection. It has the power to go through your AWS account and figure out what is going on. But I think the starting point is your GitHub code public or any other repository. This is a very nice update. This is an amazing update. The attribute-based access control for S3 buckets. I'm gonna throw some numbers. I think I can from my company. Well, what can go wrong? I work for Mondelez. You most probably never heard about Mondelez. You have all tasted its products. It's a company that makes Oreo, Lacta, Cadbury, Milka, and all the others. All the snacks. It's not like an evil corp, but yeah. No, I'm just kidding. We have at the moment around 700 AWS accounts, and we have migrated our workloads. The migration ratio from Azure and other clouds to AWS is around 20%. And we are already at 700 AWS accounts. And within those 700 AWS accounts, everyone can request whatever they want because it's accounts for other applications. For us to manage access in a weirdly very security-driven company, which is in snacking, we are trying to push the boundaries of how we provide access to contractors, how we provide access to application owners, and so on and so forth. When it comes to buckets, here you can select specific attributes of a file and say that whenever this kind of role can only access files from this attribute. A very common attribute is a tag. So you can tag specific objects within a bucket and pretty much have file-based governance within your files.
But if you want static data, you want to write the data predict,
Yeah.
either by them or sign the budget keys, privacy but they will stick to it and pretend the bench. So the reliant protocol the best top for study. That the all the business rate and people the other thing. So based on the tag strategic, they will say that say you better not at beauty so we will have a everything at that. So this creates simplified for how you company.
Yeah.
Why first service.
One thing that I haven't searched about this slide is the pricing. It should be free. It should be free. But yeah, if you know, okay, it's not priced. Yes, about the post-apocalyptic. Yeah. What happens when quantum computers actually start working and be able to solve problems? All your encryptions that you currently know will go to the big. So AWS is trying to catch up and say you can be post-quantum secure, yeah, compliant, without even having made that achievement yet. So yeah, it's if you want post-quantum cryptography in the S3 bucket, now it's generally available. Yes, air gap, AWS backup. I think we have two. No, one. So yeah. Do we know what is AWS backup? I will explain. It's a service that can orchestrate backups from many other services within AWS. AWS has 300 something services at the moment. Some of them generate data, databases, EC2 instances with drives, S3 buckets, and so on and so forth. So you use AWS backup to have a centralized way of managing your backups. Each service supports a backup mechanism, but this is a centralized way to oversee everything. And they have created virtual air-gapped AWS backups. Virtual air-gapped backups. Usually, what we used to do is we create another AWS account. We send all the backup there, and then we throw the keys, so no one could actually log into the account and delete the backups. Well, one person had the key, but we don't want it. Now you can do that within your backup account. There is no need to create an offsite where you can store your backups. This is a nice addition. And unrelated to AI, surprisingly. Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Okay. Yes, AWS Backup supports Amazon EKS. One of the many services that currently supports. Now we add Amazon EKS, which is Elastic Kubernetes service. Elastic Kubernetes service. It's for Kubernetes. And you can add your own encryption key into your air-gapped port. Previously, I think it was the managed the AWS one. Okay. I'm going fast, as you can see. If you have questions based on a specific slide, please shout. We're going fast. We have 180 slides. So yeah. Yes. So again about backups. I mean, we're in storage section. Single action snapshot copy in AWS backup. Whenever you were trying to, let's say you have an outage in a specific region. Let's take an example. We have US East 1, which is the North Virginia region, and then you have Frankfurt, the new central one. And you have your database in US East 1. And I don't know where that came from, but imagine that US East 1 drops. It has a massive outage. 3, like in the past 6 months. And you want to quickly restore your database because you don't know when this will happen. What you used to do is that you had to make the backup, create a ROE, pass it through the other region, so make an actual copy. That would take time, and you could. Yeah,
Start added by K. Nomadic that stupid. So that really whisper there was some girls. So to do this singular set, I had to get the sapper, the big quad. Copy the paper.
by hand, by the way.
Copy.
Yeah.
After that, it's your up tower state. On what?
Yes. There too.
In this account, we will the euro together now.
Yeah.
That's great thing about.
That's a good thing. They're taking the complexity, and we reap the benefits. Yes. This is very cool. Conditional write in Amazon S3. Okay, let's do an exercise. Can raise hands if you know what Amazon S3 is. Nice. So, Amazon S3 is a blob storage. It creates an index, and one important thing, it has eventual consistency and strong consistency on specific actions that would take time when you need to write a file or read a file. So here, sometimes when you write a file in an S3 bucket, and then some other service goes and edits that file, and some other service goes to edit that file, you need to make sure that it is updated, for example. All the other actions has been completed from the other service and so on. So here you can say within your write command, write only if it has been updated in the past 5 minutes. Or write only, or do not write anything if it's already been updated, if it's not the original file. So you can fix overrides, you can conditionally write a file. Yes, don't write if it already exists. Do not replace it, for example.
I bet Becky Apple has yeah, right. I bet that's why every other process that is trying to write a file.
Or you have to enable the deletion protection, yeah.
very clear. That is then the so we take it now. The setting the command they hit the down is something that can expect it.
Yes. This is very, very nice. Again, let's learn at the pop. Yes. You can download the PDF. It's 200 pages, but you can find on the page as well for pre-event primarily. And then I'm gonna give the microphone to Thanasis to continue with profit.
Okay, so I don't know if compute is that interesting though. We will see. We will see. So, is anyone here? Do we know what Graviton is? So, Graviton is like a ARM architecture. I think the way they market it, every new generation of Graviton is a bit faster, a bit cheaper. So, my recommendation is if you're using any managed services of Amazon that can use Graviton, do it because it's zero effort to lower the cost and increase the performance. If managed, yes, because if it's managed, you know that it works. If you have to make sure that your application works in ARM architecture, it needs a bit of effort to make sure that both your development flow and the production will work on the same architecture. So I think this is a preview. A new generation of Graviton is arriving, 30% faster, 35% faster for databases. So databases, OpenSearch, where else do you use it? Where it's very convenient? Right. Any managed service, yeah. For example, the past years I'm also using it almost exclusively in Fargate because with Apple Silicon you're developing in ARM, so it's like you're already developing in the same architecture. When I initially tried Graviton, I remember it was not that good because even Docker images were not being published for ARM. I remember, for example, 5 years ago, we were trying to set up Elasticsearch, and it was not supported for ARM architecture. Now everything is supported. So, yeah, a new version, a new generation is coming. When it's out there, it's usually a good performance and cost optimization to just upgrade. This one is if you're working for Anthropic. The scale is huge. I don't know if you're saying we're talking about thousands of chips and is it petaflops? Yeah, it's about if you're Anthropic and you're training your models, this is what you would use. And is this a preview or this is a sneak peek? This is the right. If this is upcoming, right now, for example, this solution is using Trainium 3. Now they're developing Trainium 4. 6 times the performance, 4 times the memory bandwidth, 2 times the memory capacity. Once again, newer generation better. We have no idea when it's going to be available. Will you use it?
Bro, I think it's part of. Wait. Any did it do
So, we need to compile the program.
Yeah, there. What the below bed provides. Yeah. So, yes, this pass to one or to other part.
Arid.
That's a copy. Is that you know, it's an ease. It's an ease.
Create. What three.
Most people won't use it, but in the scale of AWS, purpose-built hardware is the future, and that's why they're going with. The next one. Instances with really long names that you need to decode. So these are memory optimized instances, and you can tell by the letters. A, what is it for? Let's start with the letters. A is AMD. E is extended memory. D is local NVMe SSD. What's it? High frequency processors. So yeah, these are as you see, they have a really high ratio of memory to CPU. So it's 32:1. The numbers get crazy, and it's for workloads that have really big memory requirements.
I don't know, maybe AI.
Maybe AI, yes. Maybe AI is a good fit for that. And it's generally available. Yes.
To it is.
In two regions only. It's okay. Guess the first one is US East 1? No, it's US West and Tokyo. Interesting. But they are available if you want to play around with huge specs. Ultra servers. As you see, the compute announcements are mostly targeted towards really big consumers. I know I'll probably never use them. As
At some point, 8 years ago, we tried to use all the not equals sets.
the cheap ones, the ones that cost 35 euros per hour.
How do you put that? Let's do prosumer. I mean, we were for sugar based, though we bought the best available CPU instance, but not that professional consumer that will allow us to put the attack. But there are in this case, but
So yeah, this is another new generation of GPU powered. It's also in preview, so P. Oh, it's closed preview. It's closed preview. You need to request access. But if anyone has tried playing around with the P series, okay, the P series are kind of reasonable price. Reasonable. It's very hard to find them. I don't know if anyone has tried to spin up a GPU powered instance. The availability is low. And that's why I think like 6 months before reInvent, they released a new way of reserving, like you're reserving instances to get them cheaper. With GPUs, you reserve them just so that you know that you will be able to have them in 6 months from now. So you will say that 6 months from now, I'm going to need this instance for 4 hours, and this is the way to get it. If you want it for, we tried using them in the past for ad hoc, short-lived processing. Didn't work. We couldn't find them. And we tried solutions that were scanning for availability in multiple regions. We couldn't find them.
Montenegro, there is a startup. They basically in this ML based signing of the generated contents, something like that. What's the process? But they were running in the same way, basically on demand. So the on demand instance where you request, it's some kind of things in state rated when the instance goes down when you don't use it, and then it comes up. But as they need some quite demanding insights, which was like 5 days a month. They just when they requested that we have, so when they come to the customer showing there's a loop, it's couldn't because there was no available. Yeah. So eventually they came an idea to buy. It was kind of 50K instance. Yeah. I mean 50K, sorry, a 50K machine. So they bought it instead of physical.
yes, and everything connects now. All the dots are connected because yes, P series with NVIDIA GPUs are amazing, but they also have Tray, they have DRM processors, so they are trying to push you into DRM. I mean, justify you do that, but yeah, it's if you don't find that, then the come to you and say, I decide to compile even more either. Wait, is ask on the law. Yeah.
And yeah, it's still cool if you have a use case like you're Disney and you want to render your new movie. You know that all the work will be done in 2 months from now. You reserve like a couple of hundred of these for a few days, and you're done. In those cases where you need the elasticity, you won't take 100 of these GPUs for 50,000 each because you only you need them for once-off job. By the way, this is why Disney, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, started producing more and more movies because they dropped their data center and moved to the cloud. Okay, so now we have a few EKS announcements. Anyone here using EKS? Okay, I've never used it, so I might be wrong. But from what I understood is that they're trying to build more around the EKS ecosystem. So right now they're trying to do it like this is the platform. Now it has everything, not just the control layer. You also have Argo CD embedded in EKS. You have, is this a slide or am I saying about another slide? Yeah, this is the one. Argo CD and ACK and KRO, which are, let me see the acronyms, controllers for Kubernetes and resource orchestration, resource orchestrator. So they're trying to make you focus on your app and not on the tooling. Since we're on that slide, we have a couple more slides about the case, but they're spreads like in the next 15 slides. I will tell you about them now because now we have the context. There are also other capabilities like, I forgot them. Networking observability, if I recall correctly. So now you can do a deeper dive and go directly into the pods and see things that you couldn't before. Or let's see, provisioned control plane. Not sure what that is. It says that you can select between extra large, 2x large, 4x large, and control the concurrency of the API requests, like double or quadruple. Is that correct? Yes. API concurrency. And there are a couple more EKS, but that we will see, like AI powered stuff, having Q developer on the side, an agent, yes, to debug production issues. Yes. So another thing that we have here is the interruptible capacity reservations. Capacity reservations are they like saving plans, or is it just what we said before that you block that I'm gonna use this for 6 months? I think you reserve the capacity and you say that I'm gonna pay for this compute for 6 months or something, and you might have short-lived workloads. So in that case, you might say that this on-demand capacity reservation is interruptible. So I'm not gonna use it all the time. So whenever you're not using it, other people in your company, other people in your organization can pick it up and use it since it's already paid for. And when you want to use it, you're the owner of the capacity reservation. You kind of evict them, like what happens with spot instances, but internally. So you're like, I need it again because I have the workloads. I need to run it again. You send them an interruption. They know that in 1 minute they're going to shut down and handle it gracefully. Okay, so this is an interesting one. ECS Express mode. If you've played around with ECS, I would say that this is ECS Lite. You don't care about anything else other than, hey, I have a container and I want to run it. I won't set up a service. I won't set up the cluster. I won't set up anything. I just run a single command, and now I have a service up and running. And I guess the idea is to have an easy way to onboard people on ECS so that they can get the best practices with a single command, and then eventually, when their single container service grows more, it's easier for them to go to a fully fledged ECS environment. They're almost there, and then they need to add the rest. But if you have a single thing that you want to run, a single container, you just run a single command and set up everything.
What did you say? As the ordinary issues. Or this is all just why because the first test.
Good question. I have no idea. Is it this is might be hard to actually deal in the past? I mean, if you have a big company and you already are using ECS in production, I think the best approach would be to try to have a platform approach and cover the complexity for the people who want to focus on the container. But I think this is more for people getting familiar with ECS, because if you already have the constitutional knowledge and the company already has workloads in ECS, you have the pipelines to deploy them, you have the maturity on how to use ECS, and you have someone who wants to use ECS but doesn't know how, you will have them focus on the image and train them.
Even the elastic. Yeah, okay, it's not the experience.
In the idea that everything else is taken care of.
But yeah, it's like no.
Yeah, but this is the take. You said before, if container is application made with like with well architected best practice. So they discovery.
Like good defaults. Yeah, I guess it's good defaults, but there is included solution. And if you want something different, something else is something more advanced, then switch over to ECS and bring it to your own, setup.
So probably some kind of networking stuff would you already defined over there. You probably don't have a big change.
As Garvik say, it's expect. Yeah, exactly. I think so as well.
It's just say on words. If you're already on ECS,
Or if you have something super, super simple, right?
but they put pushes actually. I've been asked on the previously here is like what's the difference between app runner? Okay, we have
Didn't they kill Uprunner? I think they killed one of these services recently. Was it Uprunner? It could be. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so they killed another one. There's too many ways to run containers on AWS. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know. I mean, probably different engine that in the background, but yeah, AdBrunner is kind of simplified to the way the kit side. Wait, side of what? It's a different stuff completely, but it's the same job.
Yeah, so app planner was kind of fast.
This is one of the many MCP announcements. You will see many of them, like MCP for ECS and EKS. We have MCP for billing, MCP for security, MCP for this is MCP for ECS and EKS. Yes. By the way, I don't know if that's my feed only, but from what I'm seeing from the tech scene is that many people are moving away from MCPs, and they're like, okay, there's no need. We try to go to MCPs to help agents. Agents work really well with CLIs, so why bother with MCPs? Yes. So we have a lot of MCPs here. It was good back in November. Now we moved too fast, so perhaps it's irrelevant. AI-powered experience for ECS. So this is a nice demo. You see something stopped, you click, hey, let's analyze it with Q, and you instantly get a nice analysis on what's going on and potential root cause analysis. So they varied Amazon Q in various places. I've used Amazon Q for many years since it has been, in the past it was completely unusable, fun to play, completely useless. I mean, this looks like a good direction though, because I think, by the way,
That paper is because you would actually open your console and ask is
yes, but the embedded view for people who live in the AWS console, it's a nice, at least a nice first step, right? So you will do deeper dive potentially, or you might start prompting and asking Q, but it's a good sign. It's like a good quick check. If you have something wrong, you click on it and it's like, hey, you're failing because of this and that, and I check the other status. So that's very convenient. Very convenient.
Some parameters. It more.
yeah. The rule you can remember top two transformers. It was the first LLM. I guess 6 top two transformer. No, it was the first LLM. It was an LLM with predictive words. So you could start writing a sentence, complete it, but we
Random. I get that.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was
Then yeah,
was a cute when I
was something similar. Yes.
By the way, is anyone joining the European Game Day in like 3 weeks from now? If anyone is joining, we did a couple of trials today. I already used Amazon Q a lot, and you will use it a lot because it's like a real world scenario where things go wrong, and clicking and inspecting instantly. Hey, this is wrong. What should I do? It's like having an expert helping you. Not an excellent helper, but sometimes it might point you to the right direction.
Now you spoiled it.
What did I spoil? It's a tool. I didn't say anything.
This you haven't announced it yet?
No, it's
Oh. No. I mean, the registrations are closing next week. Act like you never heard about it. Either. Yes. What is it? What is a game day? Image signing for Amazon ECR. Haven't used it. It's streamlining the signing of images. Anything else you want to add? We also have another one about auto versioning. If you're building images with Image Builder, you don't have to manage and maintain the image versions. It's automatically incrementing it. It has mechanisms so that you always fetch the latest, stuff like that. It's developer experience stuff. Instance lifecycle policy for EC2 auto scaling. If I understood that correctly, is that when your instances are deprovisioned, you now can have a life cycle and explain how it's gonna retire and what actions will be taken so that it's properly wraps up its stage and state before being killed, right? Something like that.
That's one of the first questions I had when I start reading about autoscaling in AWS was, but how does know this business key? The oldest one have is
I think this is the oldest one,
and
typically.
there's
Or do you have a strategy? I don't know.
have 10 instances and things around it. And now on 2 instances have running things. How AWS is going to remove the other 3? It's going to check. There's no way to check. That is not even sad. Now currently you check. Charlie is sad. There's that.
So you mentioned your top speed fast
We're too slow.
to speed up.
Too slow. Next slides. Yeah. Okay.
So
We already said that. Network observability KS. See? We've already covered material from next slides, so we're moving fast. Archive storage class for Amazon ECR. If you have a lot of images in ECR and you need to keep some of them for compliance reasons, for example, and not just delete them, you can move them to archive cheaper and keep them there. Supplementary packages for Amazon Linux. Now the images have a lot more packages, right? Yes, like a couple of thousand more. So the Amazon maintained images have more pre-installed things. This is compute. Now we're moving to databases. Database saving plans, something that should have existed 10 years ago. But for some reason you could buy saving plans for anything else with compute, but not databases. Now you can. Right?
What's that? We're gonna continue with the databases. Yay, the saving plans. So yeah, performance boost on OpenSearch. I don't know if you have used OpenSearch. It is a prime database to store vectors for GenAI. Not for GenAI, for knowledge bases, but yeah. Now you have GPU accelerated vector creation, so it will be very, 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 very fast. I think it's like 150,000 vectors per second or something. Depends on your pocket, of course. Yeah. And also an auto optimizer on the indexes. So things are changing within Elasticsearch. It auto optimized the vector indexes itself. I think they have already released that, but not for vector. No, not for vectors, vector indexes in the open source, previous open source. Yeah, agentic search. You tell it what to look like, what to look for, and it creates the query, and then you blindly trust it and run it. Yeah, it is magic. Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of those things. Oh, this is amazing. Dynamic data masking in Aurora PostgreSQL. They're using the plugin PG column mask policy. So your data within Aurora are not masked, but whenever you write an SQL query to retrieve that data, if that policy applies to you for the masking, then it stubs the SQL query and masks the fields that are PII.
Oh, yeah, I will ask the question from the guy in Foldays and the task in his call. Yes, he asked me, like, why would he guy omit the
What do you mean omit?
omit data that was used to be masked?
Then you'll not get data that needs to be masked, so you're fine.
Reminded me come up the bit, but you by say, okay, he's analyzing this role. Yeah, narrated a bit. But I think query, you keep the read access. Yeah. Yeah, what do office apart the deleted to you in the tablet.
Yeah, but the thing is that keeping the first place of people.
You cannot omit that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so in PII world and GDPR and so on and so forth, whenever you are handling PII data, you have to sign a contract. It's a data processor contract. That particular employee can look at PII data, but if you mask them within the database, it cannot look at those data. So you need to create a replica with unmasked data that only has access. Now you omit all this nonsense.
You could set out all the roles with finding address of the specific
Like lake formation.
mapping roles with mapping going mask.
But I mean, I was thinking in migration, there's the patient there.
I'm not doing that. He's as contiguous. No. Yeah. If you don't know about Aurora DSQL, it is pretty much similar to GCP Spanner. It is something that pretty much breaks the CAP theorem. You have all consistency, availability, and persistence. No, you don't have that. You make some exceptions. So they have additional Python, Node.js, and JDBC connectors. JDBC drivers, and you can also talk directly with Python and Node.js. Nice. That slide actually gave me wondering how would you connecting to that, but I haven't used it. My pocket is not deep enough for that. And yeah, also they added a query editor. Again, the same question: how were they querying this database? This is also cool. DynamoDB in the previous days, if you had multiple, let's say in quotes, indexes or things that you want to search for within a database, within DynamoDB, you could create the primary key and the sorting key, and within the primary key was a composite string, like date does, I don't know, team does something. So you can use the starts with. So you could filter out a lot of rows with a starts with part. Now we have multi-attribute GSI. It means that you can create 4 primary keys and 4 secondary keys or sorting keys within the DynamoDB, and you don't need necessarily to maintain a large composite key. That's a very nice update. Yeah. Blue-green deployments in Aurora Global. blue-green deployments in Aurora Global. I don't know what else to say. It supports blue-green deployments. And yeah, ads, networking, and content delivery. I can do some slides on that. I mean, do you care enough about networking? Very, very fast. Yeah, AI factories. You purchase the brick, you put it in your data center, you have AI, AWS AI in your data center. Interconnect, this is a very nice update. You can connect other cloud providers with your own VPC. So you have AWS, you have GCP, you create the interconnect, and the two VPCs can communicate. Amazing stuff. Private, public preview, not general available. Last mile. Skip this. This is also a nice update. I hate DNS and things like that. I try to cover it. Route 53 global resolver. Usually within your VPC, you have a DNS resolver that understands that within the private network where to go. You can build that globally within your account. I think it's within your account and have access to multiple private networks within your account. Resolve, not access. Yeah. Accelerated recovery. So if you assist one, again, I don't know where the idea comes from, goes down. If you have accelerated recovery enabled, Amazon says, I guarantee you that within 60 minutes, you will be operating in another DNS, another Route 53 in another region.
So I know a lot of lower services with like private-based region
In North Virginia, yeah.
So this North Virginia goes down. What do I do? So you have accelerated recovery enabled, then North Virginia goes down. Within 60 minutes, you will be able to once again modify.
Yeah. Which it did twice so far. Maybe thrice. Yes. The most outages? Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Network firewall proxy, pretty much before your NAT gateway, you can add a firewall and you can tell your other corporate data center or VPC or whatever goes through the NAT gateway where it can reach out into the public internet. MPLS support in Amazon CloudFront. Amazon CloudFront now can support mutual TLS. I have it on, but yeah. Mutual TLS, meaning that it needs a mutual verification between the client and CloudFront to get access. Bring your own IP into CloudFront. This is interesting. You can actually assign your own IPs into the CloudFront distribution and properly whitelisted within your private or public network and so on. Again, boring stuff, not AI related. VPC encryption controls. This is nice also. Now, within a region, multiple VPCs can communicate to each other with encryption and transit. And you could say that, but is this a default? No, it isn't. Whenever you use direct connect, whenever you use peer-to-peer connection and transit gateway, nothing is encrypted in the between. But you are using the backbone network of AWS, so you should be fine. Yes, post-quantum key exchange, not only for S3, but for ALB and NLB and two other places later. Target optimizer, application load balancer. You have yet another agent within your container, EC2, whatever you run it, and it pretty much monitors and you can create policies and routing policies for your application load balancer.
In this case, instead of having the load balancer predict, say that I'm gonna send based on the melt of the containers, you can have the containers that sell the control the record the play and overloading by
Stop sending.
100 requests per minute. Stop sending. Now the targets got composed, so once they're purchasing a bit, the target can have their
Yeah. Does it solve, I don't know, global peace or something? No. Yeah. That was my first impression when I saw that. Most probably yes, negligible into, I don't know, a very large scale, most probably. But yeah, obviously it's gonna add some latency. Yeah. Yeah.
You came to get out of the
Yes. Yeah, because this is not it is a proxy. It's not like something that reports back to the ALB and then ALB directly goes to the target. This is a proxy. Everything goes through the agent. So yes, it adds.
some ways. So this case is proxy. That is such a basic. It's not a really topic that the strap. They could be put in a particularly myself workflows and requests that are not comparable with that. They require that super fast requests or super slow requests. So a specific worker might get a lot of slow requests, but they need big community.
Yes. So AWS Cloud One. This is the solution after Amazon persuade every single company that wants to follow well architected that needs to have a dedicated AWS account for networking. Then they release that and say, you know what, you don't really need that. so, so yeah, you have now routing policies within your one. So how the traffic is routed within your not anymore single account that holds all your networking. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Yeah, where target groups for network load balancer. I could swear that that already existed, but as it seems, no. So you can go from a network load balancer and wait the traffic in a layer 4 protocol. Yeah, layer 4 protocol. NLB. I said LB. NL. Yes, yeah, yes, most probably, yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice. Not gateways. Not gateways in the pre-reinvent release. We used to deploy one NAT gateway per availability zone, so you had multiple availability zones, you had multiple NAT gateways, and they're expensive and so on. Now you have a regional NAT gateway or RNAT. Good addition. Yes. I'll say with a 99.9% confidence, no. Should be like, but not twice or thrice. It should be like 1.5. Usually they do things like that. Yeah. FactNet is the best one. Because I love NAT so much. I'm gonna skip that. You can do cross region. You can create private links. Within the same region, now you can create more.
This is actually a piety cross region.
Yes, you have in one region your recognition models or things like that, and you have in other regions your.
You're skipping the drop.
Yes. Or the replication, moving your models to all other regions. And pricing. Flat rate pricing plans for Amazon CloudFront. You have now two flavors of pricing within CloudFront. Flat rate because every serverless service has a flat rate cost. You can have pay as you go or a flat plan price that is $0 per month, $15 per month, $200 per month, and $1,000 per month. They're trying to make predictable charges.
So in case you get some videos back or something,
Yes.
so viral and everyone spike to now access your application. Your bidding will not spike, but
You'll not go to zero. Yeah.
the limit at what is happening that moment is that you're just getting a slower traffic to your website. So you're there exploiting the other applications which are not that used, and your application is sort of appropriate with me, and you're not going to basically pay.
Yeah. It's not serverless anymore. It is a good thing. It's not serverless anymore. Yes. Gonna, yeah. I read about it, never used it. I'm sure I'm gonna skip the slide. It's HTTP3 support for NLB, yeah. JWT verification within ALB. This is very nice. Pretty much your ALB can verify your JWT token or JOT token. We had questions in the car while we were discussing about this slide. I don't know if it caches the JWT token if it's not expired. We need to see. Analytics. Do I cover analytics? Yeah, I can cover analytics. How much more? How many? 20 minutes? 20 minutes? Do you care about SageMaker? We skip it. Synthetic clean rooms. Clean rooms. You create a room with data anonymized. Now those data can be synthetic. So you can train your models on top of, again, AI. Skipping that. This is another interesting thing. Glue 0 ETL. 0 ETL, we are familiar with 0 ETL? Perfect. Now you can actually use Glue to have 0 ETL on your Postgres database runs on your computer. This is groundbreaking. It is groundbreaking. I'm so much in love with 0 ETL. Yeah, multi-warehouse federation for Redshift. Because usually there is a trend to have multiple warehouses and federation. You need to copy all the policies around and you apply to one and propagates to everything else. Iceberg catalog federation, we talked about that. Lake formation, I hate lake formation, but this works. You actually can have federation within your S3 tables. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna.
The concept of federation is basically when we're your, let's say, data warehouse, we like to federate with some other, let's say, tools. In this case, Snowflake, the new way can create one single query, which is gonna assemble the data from all those federated.
I have a blog post about that, but before that the release, and it's not nice. How you do that with Athena, for example, and so on. You'd pretty much trial and error. One-click dataset onboarding to SageMaker. Yeah, it's black magic. In some services that contain data, there you see start appearing a button that says onboard dataset, and then you click it, and then it appears to SageMaker. I haven't tested yet, so I don't know if this is a very, very bad practice or a very nice addition. Yeah, and another data agent that can write code for you. Now for SageMaker. Metadata rules. We're gonna skip SageMaker. Do we use Kafka? Perfect. We're skipping it. Yes, this is you actually spoiled it. Amazon Redshift can write directly to Amazon to S3 tables. This is very, very, very nice news. Very nice news. Oh God, I can talk about 30 minutes about MWAA. Do not use it.
But maybe the service could be.
How? It's a black box. It dies, and then you have to recreate everything.
Yeah.
Your database goes.
But this one should be actually it should solve the problem. I guess. Don't know. I mean, I didn't use this, but it should solve the problem. Or anyway, if it actually could before don't use it.
Yeah, actually, DMS was the no. It's the best word service. It's a good tool, but it's a very bad tool. MWAA is the worst. Okay. 2 seconds. Error in MWAA. What would be the error message? Error dot. No logs, nothing. No CloudTrail, nothing. Yeah. Error dot. Payload size increase for Amazon Kinesis data streams. I do not like this update. Usually goes to errors and bad practices. I mean, there is a need out there to this to happen. Maybe a very, very big client asked it and it happened. Usually this is how it goes. But the thing that you need to be careful about that is that while the payload size went to 10 megabytes, I think, yes, the lambdas is on 6 megabytes. You need to adjust. I know it's gonna have an error. Machine learning. Go.
Yeah, we skipped the important parts. No, I have more. Okay. Yeah, reinforcement fine tuning in Bedrock. Do you guys know what is fine tuning? Amazing. But let me explain for the others that don't. One guy, I mean, from my fellow community builder from Montenegro as well, he said like fine tuning is like when you're cooking soup, or basically when you're training the model, you're adding some salt, some pepper to basically tailor it to your needs. And this is really accurate analogy to what fine tuning is. Now, with reinforcement, you're basically using the behavior of your users to train the model, and you are fine tuning it with in a reinforcement learning with rewards and penalties. So if it have a correct response, you're rewarding it. If it does like a bad response, you're penalizing it. In that way, you are training the model. This thing is very good because you can train the model based on those actions in a way like you would have a teacher, and you would literally give that responses to the smarter model, which should be in this case Nova 2 Pro, and it would potentially teach your lower model, which is Nova 2 Lite, and produce a more accurate thing. So you have two types of these things. So you have a teacher one, where the larger model is a teacher, or you can create a lambda, one simple lambda, which is directly evaluate what the responses are. So it's a good thing, and the important thing is that when you produce the model, it is pay as you go. So literally, you pay the tokens, you don't pay the instances, and this is I think amazing thing. Next thing, there are some updates for strengths agents. I don't know if you use strengths agents. It's a framework for agents that came last reInvent from AWS. It is very simple to use. Before that, I was using Pydantic. Pydantic is in a way a bit more complex. Again, simple, but a bit more complex. And I think Strengths Agent is solving a lots of problems from that complexity perspective, and it's well integrated with AWS services. So I encourage you to try it if you didn't. So it's quite nice. Now, whoever don't like Python but would like to use Strengths Agents, there is a support for TypeScript, so you can actually use a TypeScript to code Gen AI stuff. There is a bidirectional streaming. So now bidirectional thing is quite cool, because later on we will see some new models that are actually supporting that, and it's a good thing that you have this support in Strengths Agents, and I don't think there is any other framework that is supporting that by default. Also, they are now supporting a local model provider, Llama CPP. They added this steering thing, which is still experimental. So if it's like something in between the response, the model and the response. So if you on the prompt and the model. So if you say, let's say, write me a story, it's gonna amplify your prompt with additional, let's say, write me a story, but the thing will, add additional stuff like the story has to have, conclusion, introduction. It's gonna wrap it in a way that it's gonna be safer to be used. Evaluations, yeah, they have added evaluations, one more evaluations to the thing, and now you can evaluate the responses with this from the framework itself. Yeah, Amazon Nova Lite. Yeah.
They released a bunch of Nova.
Yes, they released a bunch of Nova stuff. Nova Lite is really cool thing. It is, if we are talking about anthropic analogy, it is something like Haiku. It is more expensive than Haiku 3.0, but it's less expensive than Haiku 4.5. It's very fast, and they are interesting things. So they're having embedded tools, so you can use a web grounding, and web grounding is if you think that your model is hallucinating, it can basically web ground that statement, so that kind of you are reducing the hallucinations. It accepts 1 million token context, which is amazing because you can push images and a video. I don't believe so on the light, but yeah. Also, it has a code interpreter, so you can execute code as well. It's very powerful thing, honestly. I think it's more powerful than 4.5 Haiku, and I believe it's very useful. So you should try it, definitely. I'm already using it, and for now it is doing a good job. Nova 2 Pro is something that is more similar to the let's say Sonnet 4.5. It's still in, you need to request in order to use it. I can't tell you much about it. I don't know what's the price. What else does it have? It is you can push by the marks here. It is looking good, but I mean marks. So yeah. It has also this web grounding and code interpreter. Yeah, one more thing that I didn't mention for Nova Lite. You can now set up the level of reasoning that you want. In order to pay less, you can set the reasoning to be low, and it's gonna reason less. If you don't need to reason that much. If you put it on a high, it's gonna spend much more tokens in reasoning. That's the thing. Yeah. This one is available in Nova Forge, but Nova Forge, we're gonna talk about that later. Amazon Nova 2 Omni is actually a multimodal reasoning. So basically, you can push text, images, videos, pictures, as it says here, and then get a text and image. So you can basically push lots of things in it, and then as an output, you're gonna get text and images. So it's an interesting thing. Again, you cannot try it still. I mean, you have to request. This is interesting. Amazon Nova 2 Sonic is a speech-to-speech model. It basically is, you can make now real-time conversation. And what is interesting with this model is that it can do multiple things at once. So it's mixed model. So it's not just multimodal, it's a mixed model, which means that you can type, talk in the same time, and then use let's say in the back the model can tell you, okay, you can talk to the model in a way like can you check flights for tomorrow for that and that destination, and it can start checking that stuff in the background, but in the same time it can ask you, would you like while this is running, can I ask for a hotels for you, So basically it can do a parallel things. I don't think that there is any other model doing this right now. So it's a cool thing. Yes. If you have Alexa, you should have already thrown that thing at me. Yes. I don't know where they are. There are many. I actually bought them. Okay. Amazon Nova Forge. Eventually, this is a cool thing. I don't know. This thing is serving that you can now send your own data sets where they can pre-train, mid-train, and post-train the models with your data. So it's gonna be tailored to your needs. Honestly, I didn't find too much explanation how that works. Yeah, could be potentially good for some way. So Amazon Nova Act. You know that now agents using desktop is kind of a hype. So basically, this is like what they say could be potentially AGI when they use the desktop applications and literally work for you. So Nova it's something like that. Basically, it uses the browser in the background, but literally a browser. So you can, let's say, put actions where you can say, go to that URL, go to Airbnb, find me hotels near me that are, let's say, superhosts, and return me a JSON. And you can do that here. You can export that Python as you can export the code as a Python, and you can run it on scale. Let's say multiple agents in parallel can do the same thing. So I'm okay. I use Airbnb, but you can imagine you can use lots of things. It acts for you. That's why it makes sense, you know. No, I act. Yeah. Let me see if there is something else that I have missed. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I have tried it. It's interesting, but it's very fast most of the time. When it isn't, then it's slow and it stops, and I have no clue why it does that. Anyway, if it's good, but in my opinion, it's still not reliable. Policy in Amazon Bedrock, of course. Now you can so basically, you have a guardrails which are written in Cedar, and now you have a thing which can, basically define the using the Cedar the guardrails. Amazon Bedrock Agent Core evaluations. Yes, so this is a thing where we can monitor the model performance. The thing is that when we are exposing a model to the clients on a scale, we don't have exactly the right way to observe how it acts with the customers. Imagine you have, let's say, like some kind of chatbot which is running on scale. You have, like, I don't know, hundreds of people using it daily, let's say some airliner, and you don't know how it performs. With this tool, you should be able to see how it performs and basically have some feedback, let's say real time. Is it good or not? And based on that, you can, let's say, you have correctness, you helpness, conciseness. So it is giving you the metrics around the performance of the model. Yes. Quickly. So what is new here? Yes, Agent Core runtime supports bidirectional streaming. Bidirectional streaming is now aligning with the tools like the multimodal, like Nova Omni and the Sonic, which require this bidirectional flow, which is essential if you want to have this kind of tools available. Episodic memory. Episodic memory is something in between. They had previously short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory is literally in context placed in a raw format. Long-term memory is kind of summarized of that, but some important details were missed, and episodic memory is actually reflected into those significant things out of short-term memory that should be recalled in next communication. So it's a good thing. I don't know how it works. Mistrals are available. You know, Mistral is European model. It's the whole European model Europe has. Now it's available, unfortunately, only in the United States. I mean, there is also older versions are available in Europe, but the newest one are only in the States. Multi-modal retrieval for the knowledge bases. Yes, multimodal retrieval for the knowledge bases is you now have multimodal you have a multimodal models, and of course you now need to retrieve the data that is gonna combine video, image, sound, and you should basically be able to search based on that, and it needs to do a relation between them. So I don't know what is this doing here in this is analytics thing, but it
I can say if you
we don't have a time. It's just one chat for a quick suit. That's it.
I'll be. It's amazing if you bet.
What? Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, cool. It's very nice. Costa says he's data hero. I'm not. Test generation for automating reasoning. So now you can generate tests for your guardrail, so you don't write them by yourself. You can generate them. Cool, with a natural language. There are new ways how they charge the Amazon Bedrock models. So you have priority, standard, flex, and reserved. The standard is pretty much what we are using currently. Flex should be cheaper, 15%. Priority should be more expensive, like 25% or something. And reserved is the most expensive, and it's 8 pence. So yeah. Yes, true. Direct code deployment for Agent Core. Now, in order to deploy Agent Core, you would need to wrap it in a Docker and push it into the Agent Core. Now you can do it like Lambda. You can just zip it and send it. 4 new image editing tools. So now with the Stability AI image services, you can do upscaling, outpainting. There are several types of upscaling: fast upscale, conservative, creative. Yeah, good thing you can try. Web grounding from Amazon Nova models. I've already talked about web grounding. Basically, this is Amazon Nova models reducing hallucination by web grounding their statements. Amazon Nova multimodal embeddings. So as I said, now you have models that are creating multimodal embeddings, so that you can store multimodal embeddings into multimodal knowledge bases, so you can whole cycle with the multimodality. Yeah. Quickly, a few more things. I mean, really quickly. Yeah, MCP everywhere. This is actually a cool thing if you want to use MCP. So now if you have an API gateway, you just you can just expose it over MCP, and there you go. Cool, without much. Lambda durable function. If you were, let's say, having a Lambda which was struggling because you need to wait some service which can last unpredictable amount of time, and your Lambda fails because you'd exceeded the time. Now you have durable functions which are gonna stop in the moment when you call that service which is having this like unpredictable amount of time that it requires. So you can use it, let's say, human in the loop if you're doing AI stuff with a Lambda, or you can, let's say, do it using, let's say, some paying services. They have this states where you capture the money, you have like this 3D secure thing, so you have lots of waiting. With before you had to do a step function thing around your lambda and several lambdas. Now you can do it in a single lambda, but just make sure that you don't rewrite the step function in this lambda durable functions, because it's gonna be mess. So try to keep it minimal. Otherwise, it's gonna be better to use step functions. AWS Lambda managed instances, so you can run lambdas on a dedicated instances. So you can have an instance. Of course, you don't have access to the instance. You can choose it, but you don't have access. You cannot SSH into it. So you just dedicate that instance for a Lambda executions, and they're gonna run on that Lambda. Why is this a good thing? It's a good thing because you can select instance with a higher GPU in case you need that. Yeah, this thing. So now basically you don't need to have NLB when your lambdas are exposed over ALB in a private subnet. Yeah. Step function tests, tenant and isolation mode for AWS lambdas. So now you can basically tenant isolate lambdas. For example, I had a situation where I was putting lots of things above the handler in order to keep it while the lambdas are in a hot state. So I was using that for various things. But if you have a multiple tenants, that can mix up, or it can get very complex. And now with this tenant isolation, you just use it. You can use it like I was at the time. What? Minus 3 minutes. Okay. So REST API got a streaming. Streaming is the thing now. So streaming. I mean, this is completely worthless if you're having a JSON. But if you're streaming text, yeah, okay. Now you can stream it. Developer portals. This is interesting. Basically, you have Amazon API Gateway where you can have a developer portal. So yes, exactly. But this is like because when somebody gives you an API to test, and you have this nice portal where you can test API. So if you did that with the API Gateway, you didn't have that. You had a Swagger that you can export, but you didn't have a portal, which is nice, fancy looking. I mean, you can put that on S3 and that, but anyway, this is much better thing. Lambda supports Rust now. Before it was over Cargo Lambda. Now it's supports Rust. Visual rule builder for I don't want even to discuss this. It's another visual thing. MCP now. Yeah, now you can add MCP to the Visual Studio, and it's gonna help you code ESM support for lambdas. That's it. I wouldn't go into the another one. We are 5 minutes over, so I would stop it here. Right. Yeah. Actually it's a lots of people survived.
The recap step was it.
Yeah.
The label are they?
Yeah. Yeah. I thought just you would stay. Out of curiosity, courtesy, not.
Okay. So we have quite a good audience, and we have the pizzas are already cold, but probably we will survive. Yeah. Yeah. But it was quite a lot of content, and I think that we got the gist of it quite a bit. So what I wanted to announce basically is the next event that we are doing on 17th of March, which was already mentioned. It's a game day that will be hosted at Semus offices, and we have limited capacity of I think that we are around 15 teams, and there are a few spots that are left. So please join up, and you can. And the point is that after all the day with handling with the tasks that you have in the work and so on, you will have a few more hours to enjoy fixing someone else's broken environment. So it's a quite interesting situation and good challenges to tap. There are some prizes as usual, but it's a good event since it's organized across Europe. So far, 57 music groups are joining. Maybe some will do. Daar moeten we het
Actually, it is announced here a polling hour as well. So I'm looking at part of organization that see the kind of place to be. And 17. So
How to do the lot of they be about this day is the like hackathon paperwork spot. It's part yes, yeah. When we are competing with others, like a real watch day. So like the following part. Yeah, one
acceptable. All this will pump. Fine.